Welcome to our video on English studies. If we take a look at our three English courses that you have to choose from, English studies is what we would describe as our least academic course. So it's not really a course you take if you're looking for the preparation to go to university or do higher level study. So English studies is more if you are looking for just a real world English course, something that you can take just because you have to. You're not looking for the pressures of doing hours and hours of revision a night and practicing your essay writing skills. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of work in English studies, but it is our least academically focused level of English at the moment. So let's have a look at the first important question. Can I get an ATAR? Basically, it's a yes and a no. It's optional, in fact. It's a category B subject, so you can count it towards an ATAR if you want to, and you have to sit the English exam at the end of the year when everybody does their HSC exams. That exam is optional, and if you don't sit it, which is the no ATAR version of the course, you will still get your HSC, but you just won't get that tertiary admissions rank. So if you are looking for a career that requires you to go to university, step one is you would have to sit the exam, even if you did English studies. And step two, to think about there may be a better English choice for you if you're really relying on going to university as part of your future plans. What skills will you need in English studies? We're looking at a basic vocational level of English. What that means is it's an everyday type focus. We want to be talking about constructing and punctuating sentences that we would use in everyday life. We want to be able to correctly spell and structure our sentences. We want to be reading everyday type text, the types of things that you would find in a workplace, for information in the community, or that you might read or watch for entertainment. And eventually we will be working towards some sustained writing pieces of up to a page in length. But we're not talking really hardcore, extended, deep study of texts. Obviously, to succeed in this course, you're going to need to attend class, use your time effectively, study all the texts that we offer, hand in your assessment tasks, catch up on missed work. And if you do choose to sit the HSC exam, you are going to need to do revision because you will obviously be being ranked against all the other English students in the state, and there are tens of thousands of those. So if you choose that path, it's really important that you are willing to do ongoing revision throughout the year. What types of topics do you study in English studies? There's a compulsory English through Achieving Through English topic in year 11, which is all about English in the workplace, has a real focus on creating vocational texts yourself, so resumes, cover letters, applying for jobs. Year 12 has text and human experiences, which everyone in year 12 English, no matter what level you do, has to study. But other than those two, there's a bit more diversity. There's a lot of flexibility. Teachers can sort of choose from a big range of topics what suits their classes. So there might be a focus on studying film, which is the big screen, playing the game, which focuses on the language of sport and the place of sport in our culture, popular music through MyTunes, on the road English and travel. That's a really cool one where you can look at travel documents and research how do you actually use your English language skills to process information in preparation of travel. 3 assessment tasks in year 11, 4 in year 12. Basically, each year has a portfolio, opportunities to use your digital and multimedia skills, and some writing tasks. In year 12, you do have to do one exam style task. That's just to make sure anyone who is doing the exam has preparation before the actual HSC. Do I recommend English studies for you? If you want an HSC but you don't want or need an ATAR, it could be a good course for you. If you're not a strong English student, you find it quite challenging, you're mostly receiving Ds and Es in year 10, I think realistically you've got to consider that English studies might be the level that you're at. The other reason is if you don't love English and you're only doing it because you have to, what you're really looking for is to leave school with an apprenticeship or to the workforce. You should do that. You should consider English studies. If you're not prepared to work hard to improve your skills, I think you need to think about English studies as opposed to either of the other two levels of English. And similar, if you're not prepared to read a novel or any other extended texts. There is there is a workload in English studies, don't get me wrong, it's a school subject. You still need to actively try and do your best, but If school is something that you're just going through the motions, trying to get through it as best you can until you can leave, then this might be a better focus, both in terms of the academic depth required, but also in terms of the actual topics you study. Come and talk to us in the English staff room if you'd like some more information. Your teachers will give you specific advice that suits you guys as well. Thanks for your time. Welcome to the subject selection video for English Standard. Let's get into it and find out whether English Standard is the right course for you. Can you get an ATAR? Yes, you can. English Standard will count 2 units towards an ATAR, but obviously you'll need to do all your assessment tasks and sit the HSC exam. The required skill level for this subject involves being able to do extended pieces of writing. So you do need to be a confident writer and competent in your level of English. You need to be certainly okay with spelling, grammar, and punctuation in your writing. And you want to be willing to learn a variety of language techniques and speculate and explain about why authors use them. So, when we read a text, what does it mean? How do we know that's what it means? And why is that important? So, we do have elements of some philosophical thinking in this course. It's not scarily complex, but you do need to be open to using the types of skills that I've mentioned here. Obviously, in addition to English studies, which is some baseline skills about attending class and completing all your work and things like that, in standard, we recommend that you are prepared to do drafts of your writing tasks and use the feedback that teachers give you to improve them. And we strongly suggest a pattern of revision to help you prepare for the exam and for you to participate in any additional opportunities such as study days. The topics that you study in year 11, you do reading to write, which is a focus on many texts by different authors, and you use the skills that you encounter in their writing, the writing techniques, to then use in your own writing to develop your confidence and your coherence as a writer. Then you look at a few other topics such as the contemporary possibilities of technology, and you do a close study of text. Then in year 12, you look at text and human experiences, which is universal. Every English level does that one. Language, identity, and culture, which is like about the way community identity is expressed through language. Another close study of text, and the craft of writing, which is where you develop your skills as a writer. It involves creative writing and persuasive writing, and some discursive writing as well. And what that means is you're not just analyzing other people's work and writing about it, you're actually creating text of your own. So you do need to be very open to the process of being a writer if you want to take English Standard. You'll study a variety of text types. You'll have a novel, a film, some poetry, a drama text or a play, and visual texts, and a variety of short written texts that will be used to inspire your writing and the craft of writing. Now, with the drama text, everyone does have to do a play, but Shakespeare is not a compulsory part of standard, and usually we would not study a Shakespearean play at this level. So if you're a little bit worried about him popping up in year 11 and 12, you might be safe in English Standard. Assessment tasks, 3 in year 11, 4 in year 12. Each course does have an exam, a multimodal assessment, and some written responses. So there's some diversity in how you're assessed. Writing is really important, but there are other ways for you to show your knowledge too. If you are looking for an ATAR, if you are achieving at a C or above level in year 10, you enjoy English, you have an interest in the written word, and you're willing to read and work independently, English Standard could be the subject for you. If you want to work hard to improve your skills, there's every chance you will succeed in this subject. But to be honest, it's not for you if you're not really willing to do that independent work. Because, reading a novel does require a lot of motivation. A lot of students do struggle with it. And I think it's best to be honest with yourself and with us about where you're at with that. And if you're not willing to do it, you're going to find this course a real challenge. If you don't want to have a study routine, things like that, if you won't complete regular classwork, I think you're going to struggle no matter what you do. And doing a little bit of work outside class time can be really important just to keep on top of stuff. So that's the overview of English Standard. Come see us in the English staff room if you do have any questions. More than happy to sit down and have a look at your best options with you. Thanks for your time. Hello, and welcome to our English Advanced subject selection video. We'll look at a few different things that you need to consider if you're thinking about studying the Advanced English course in Year 11 and 12. You can get an ATAR. It's a Category A subject and it will count towards an ATAR as long as you complete all the tasks and sit the exam. The required skill level is a strong and sophisticated level of English. You will be constructing extended pieces of writing in lots of different styles and genres. You will need to be an expert in your construction of written responses. You'll need a sophisticated writing style and a strong personal voice. And you're going to need to use that personal voice not only to analyze and evaluate the text that you studied and speculate about the intended meanings of authors, but you're going to need that personal voice to express your interpretation in a variety of written ways because we're always looking for your personal interpretation in advanced English, not just what you've learned other people to tell you, but we really like to see that individual voice coming through. Regular and sustained home revision, practice responses, and wide reading outside of class time are all requirements that we really recommend you try and stick to. That's on top of what we consider to be the general requirements of both English studies and English standard. The more wide reading you can undertake, the more your vocabulary, your general knowledge will develop, and that is a really strong baseline point for the development of your writing skills and for handling the unseen text section of the exam at the end of Year 12. So those recommendations are really important to success in this course. Year 11 has 3 topics, Year 12 has 4. Reading to write and text and human experiences are compulsory. Everyone in standard and advanced does those in Year 11 and 12. But it's in the Year 12 topics that we really start to see a diversion from other courses. Textual conversation is a comparison of 2 substantial literary texts, which is a really meaty and weighty subject. You need to be an expert not only in both the texts individually, but how they relate to each other and what benefit we gain through studying them comparatively. Then you go into a critical study of literature, which critiques the text you've chosen in great detail. Think of it as literary criticism. You become an expert not only in what it means, how it's being written, but also in developing your evaluation of the extent to which it's been successful in achieving its aims. And the craft of writing is about making sure that not only have you analyzed the writing of other people, but you're doing writing yourself, and you'll be writing creatively, persuasively, you name it, you can do it in the craft of writing. The Year 11 topics basically work towards making it possible for you to have the skills that you need to undertake those Year 12 ones. As with most levels of English, you'll study a novel, which is prose fiction, a film, poetry, a drama text, visual text, and a range of short written text for inspiration in the craft of writing. But one thing it's really important to note with the advanced English is that a Shakespearean drama is a compulsory aspect. If you do not want to study Shakespeare, then you really need to consider whether advanced English is the right course for you, because it is a bit of a deal breaker. Your assessment tasks in Year 11, there are 3, a written response, a multimodal assessment task, and an end of course exam. In Year 12, you're looking at very similar, only you're likely to have a couple of extended responses because you do have the 4 assessment tasks. And instead of the end of course exam, it's the trial HSC. But I think that that's going to be pretty common across most of the things that you study. So what are my recommendations? If you want or need a high ATAR, you're considering law, journalism, or something more in a medical scientific field, and you still need a high ATAR, it could be worth English Advanced. If you are achieving a B or above in Year 10 English as well, it's worth considering. Just because you need a high ATAR, if you are struggling with your English skills and knowledge, we might need to have a little bit more of a detailed talk about what's right for you, but come and see us because we're happy to do that. If you actively enjoy and are interested in English, I think advanced English can work really well for you. And even if you don't enjoy English, but you are prepared to earn success by working hard, this is a course that rewards ongoing effort. You can't show up the night before, do a bit of revision, turn up to the exam, and be a genius at it. The course rewards sustained effort because that's how you develop the depth of knowledge that's needed to succeed. Look, we need to be honest about if this course is not for you. If you don't want to independently read a novel, please don't take advanced English. If you're not interested in Shakespeare, like I said, that is a compulsory aspect of the course. If you don't want to go through the drafting process and refine your work, and that includes some peer editing as well, so classmates are there, I think you need to know that that's coming. And if you're not interested in looking at sophisticated text and thinking philosophically, I would not do this course. If you just want to focus more on workplace, everyday text, because that's what you're aiming for, you just want to get a job and you want to become an expert in dealing with the types of things you're going to encounter in that job, then it may be better for you to not do this level of English. It's just something for you to consider. Like I said, come and talk to us. More than happy to work through your options with you. Thanks for your time.
Hi, and welcome. In this video, I'll take you through a number of features of the English Extension course to help you decide if it's for you. First thing to say is that to be eligible for English Extension, you must first be doing English Advanced. So if you're planning to do Advanced English, take a few minutes now to find out what Extension also has to offer. In short, the course is designed for those with a real interest in literature who want to extend their knowledge, skills, and understanding in English. But let's start with the basics. English Extension is a Category A course that will contribute 1 unit towards an ATAR. So by completing English Extension in Year 11, students are eligible for the completion of English Extension 1 in Year 12. Now, Extension 1 is a wonderful opportunity to further your understanding of complex and sophisticated texts, and it builds on the things that you are learning in the English Advanced course. But wait, there's more. In addition, English Extension in Year 11 also unlocks the possibility of completing another unit of English in Year 12 via the English Extension 2 course. This course is a great opportunity to develop your own creative and intellectual expression in a course where you decide what it is you want to create, whether that be short stories or film, podcasts or poetry, script writing or explorations in creative non-fiction, or an extended critical response of your own. So, what are the requirements of English Extension in Year 11? First of all, because it will be off timetable, you'll need to be able to attend classes either before or after school, and this will be negotiated between your teacher and the class at the start of Year 11. You'll also need to develop some collaborative small group working skills, as well as your own independent research skills in order to help you complete the research project. In addition, we'll ask you to read widely so that you can engage with a variety of texts, both classic and those that cater more to your own personal interest. When it comes to skills, the course will build on and extend the knowledge and understanding you gain in English Advanced. It will nurture your ability to deal with and respond creatively to sophisticated concepts, and it will, as I mentioned, develop a strong and independent work ethic that will benefit you in your English courses as well as in a whole range of other subjects. Regarding assessment, you will undertake a range of assessments, including extended creative response writing, the completion of an essay, and an individual research project. So what are the benefits? The English Extension course gives you an excellent opportunity to deepen your understanding of texts and their significance both in the past and in the present, and hopefully in the future. It'll improve your ability to read and write more analytically and creatively, and allow you to pursue areas of personal interest in and through a range of sophisticated texts. So, if you're interested in texts and their connections to history in our world today, then Extension English is a great opportunity to see how far you can go in exploring the power and significance of literature. And if you have any further questions, just come and see us in the English faculty and we can clarify anything that you're still unsure about and explain the course in more detail.
So Extension 1 English is really for people who just love to read, love to write, and are pretty much just complete nerds for books, movies. General course structure, you study the one topic for the whole year. Example, my year's first topic was the dark side of human nature, and you have a finals essay. In your HSC year, an exam, but there is no exam for the preliminary year. I guess people who should be taking this subject are people who are going to want to read every text, to really know every single thing from back to front. There's a massive amount of work involved, a lot of after hours study. So if you're lazy or you have a lot of other subjects that are equally intense, I wouldn't take this course. It is one of the hardest HSC courses you can take and pretty much the hardest English exam there is. You want to write, if you want to read, if you're willing to work, then this is for you.